Ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading you a Politico article, Why Donald Trump's Declassification Claim Might Not Be That Outlandish. The Scooter Libby case under George W. Bush showed that presidents can declassify material without a clear paper trail. Former President Donald Trump claims to have verbally declassified the sensitive records the FBI seized from his Mar-a-Lago compound. It's not as unprecedented or as outlandish an argument as widely believed, if he can prove it happened. He can almost certainly prove that it happened. He was the former president of the United States of America. He wasn't a Secretary of State with a private server, a secret private server. Servers! Funneling communication and data and classified information, top secret intelligence, onto networks running outside of the United States government. As Secretary of State, without the ability to declassify things as Secretary of State. So, you have a situation where Comey stated, well, although there is evidence of potential violations of the law, no reasonable prosecutor would indict. They talk about the rule of law, they talk about how nobody is above the rule of law, and then they show the world that if you're a Democratic Party Secretary of State, you're above the rule of law. Clinton had servers. Now, understand something. These are boxes from a former president who can declassify according to this Politico article. And the Politico article lists a whole bunch of things he's alleged to have done based on anonymous sources, but actually doesn't state that the Washington Post accused him of handing out classified data to a diplomat based on an anonymous source. But it's written as if he did that, without a shadow of a doubt, like he did have private servers with top secret intel on them. There's no anonymous source needed, for example, to talk about Hunter's emails that show clear violations of the law, because the emails are actually published by the Daily Mail, and the story was broken by the New York Post. You can read those emails there. You can read the articles talking about Hunter and Joe meeting, or Joe meeting Hunter's business associates in the West Wing. You don't need any conjecture or hearsay or gossip or informant or source, anonymous source telling you about Hunter or Joe or Hillary with top secret intelligence on servers located outside of the United States government to hide communication. 30,000 emails deleted. Hardware destroyed with hammers. I mean, are you kidding me? They asked Clinton, well, what does the C mean? She didn't know. She thought they were putting things in alphabetical order. That's according to The Hill, okay? For classified data, confidential classified data. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, and with Trump, they're desperate to get him. That's the issue. They couldn't get him on his tax returns. They couldn't get him on Mueller because he didn't collude with the Kremlin. That was a hoax perpetuated by his direct political rivals. And I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. We need to relive 2016. But if he declassified everything at will, verbally, and there might not be a paper trail, he's in the clear. And it's something that, like, Democrats don't get. Like, you had the chance to show the world you cared about classified data when you had Clinton with top secret intelligence on servers running outside of the United States government, where her team found some way to transfer, maybe through email, whatever, top secret and special access programs from secure government locations onto those servers. Nobody knows how an email address from outside of the United States government is able to communicate with the president or the Department of Defense or acquire emails with classified data. Nobody knows how that's possible. By the way, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel and also H.A. Goodman's other channel. If you want to become a member of this channel. And also, if you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to read my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, other publications, go to hagoodman.com. But if you look, ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to get him on something that They're trying to say, well, he has 700 classified data. He has 300 classified documents. And the National Archives wanted this and that. It's like, okay, well, you know what? You have certain government agencies like the National Archives that take care of presidential records. This is a bureaucratic issue. This is not a national security issue. You have not given Trump the same respect or leeway you would give to any former president. You want him. You want him indicted. And that's why if he gets indicted, I'd still vote for him. And you would still vote for him if you're watching and you support Trump, or you like record highs in household median income and record low in poverty. In 2019, we had a record high in household median income and a record low in poverty. Now we have recession, geopolitical nightmare, and with Trump, we had fantastic foreign policy, the antithesis of a Lincoln Project foreign policy. But if they indict him on this, it'll be because they're desperate to stop him from running, not because of the rule of law. They'd made a complete mockery of the rule of law, with Hunter and Hillary, especially with the classified data. When Comey stated no reasonable prosecutor, that should be the same standard with Trump, no reasonable prosecutor. He also didn't commit a crime. So, simply having a dispute between a former president. See, Clinton's team, when they were arguing about the classification process, they were saying, well, this is an issue with the classification process. No. You had private servers, and you were funneling classified data onto those servers. It's impossible to do so. When Comey said there were 110 email chains, with some of which had top secret data, how do you have an email that exists outside of the United States government capable of communicating with the president and intel officials and capable of downloading or receiving classified and top secret intelligence? How is that even possible? How is classified data able to be stored in a network outside of the United States government? So that's a serious, monumental risk to national security. These are 11 boxes at Mar-a-Lago that almost certainly have to do with letters. I don't think that it's like they say top secret, okay, and he was president of the United States of America. If it had to do with nuclear armament, then he would have to get his Department of Energy to sign off on it, which he almost certainly did. But this is like Politico says, it's a presidents can declassify verbally. They can declassify at will. They can classify. They have the highest ranking clearance of anyone. So it would be, it's understandable he would have classified data or even top secret data. The accusation that it's declassified is simply the National Archives or the Department of Justice. Almost certainly they're after him. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. They could be right. I don't know. They could be right. He's saying he declassified everything. The U.S. government said that he worked and colluded with the Kremlin. They were wrong. U.S. government said that state governments said that he pressured people in Georgia. He didn't. His attorneys went through legal means to do anything they wanted to do. Very similar to what Democrats were trying to do 4 years prior. And so in New York, his tax returns were supposed to be the holy grail of corruption. They couldn't get him. With the January Commission committee, he was supposed to have tried to overturn democracy. That didn't. What happened? They went seamlessly from he threw his dinner at the wall. He threw his dinner at the wall. Do you understand? To, oh my God, he has classified data. Oh my, you made a mockery of classified data. Now, this has all the hallmarks of a Clintonian operation. They purchased the Steele dossier, Hillary and the Democratic Party, and Bill, well, maybe just Hillary and the Democratic Party. The Steele dossier was complete nonsense. That was the definition of fake news. They investigated him on that. Who knows? And then there were sources that linked to the Clintons. Do you have Sussman getting paid, who was an attorney that did lie, but again, the jury did not believe that anyone was duped or deceived because they believed everybody at the FBI was after Trump anyway. If the United States government is after one individual, you have to take with a grain of salt these accusations. Okay, then you have this belief that nobody could lie at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Well, the agents are great. Like, there's a lot of wonderful, great agents in the field doing their work, risking their lives, doing great things. But the top echelon, Peter Strzok stated, "We'll stop Trump." If he said, "We'll stop Clinton," I wonder how these wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal journalists would react. If he said, "We'll stop Clinton" in his text messages, and Rudy Giuliani purchased a dossier against Hillary that said Hillary was in a Moscow hotel room, or Bill or Joe was in a Moscow hotel room, you would believe Hunter. You would believe Hunter. You wouldn't even need a dossier. You could just use his photos and pictures and videos. But they would never accept that. They would never accept a dossier being used against the Democratic side, or an agent stating we'll stop this Democrat. But with Trump, no problem at all. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. He declassified everything. He had the ability to do so. And even if he didn't, and they say, well, he didn't declassify that correctly, there wasn't the intent to commit a crime. And so Comey made a huge issue about the intent to commit a crime, when of course there was the intent to hide communication from the U.S. government and even the president. With Trump, you'd have to prove also that he had some kind of nefarious purpose for those boxes, that those servers existed to hide communication. 30,000 emails deleted, almost certainly having to do with the foundation. With Trump, why would he hide? What was the nefarious intent on hiding boxes as a former president? Okay, and then you have the issue of him declassifying everything. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe.